If I had $1 for every time someone has said, Victoria, what's your secret? Ha, ha, ha. I'd be a really, really wealthy woman. I was a teenager in the 80s. I think that's about when Victoria's Secret stores came out. They were so racy back then, weren't they? And of course, my name being Victoria, I'm Victoria English, by the way, guys, if you didn't know. I'm the head coach with Project 90. And people would say, Victoria, what's your secret? And I would laugh and I'd say, oh, I'm not telling. But today, on today's episode, you are going to learn Victoria's secret. Victoria's secret to quitting alcohol, how I finally quit, and most importantly, stayed quit. Before we get started, I want to remind you about our signature program, Project 90. You know, over here, we are working with high performers, people who have gotten a lot of things done in their life, but they can't get this stupid alcohol thing behind them. And try as they might, using all of their tactics and skills that they've used to get ahead in life, they can't get this alcohol thing under control. If that sounds like you may be a fit for our program. Let's find out. You know, we work with people, as I said, high performers over the age of 30. It's a specific type of community. And why is that? Well, because being part of a community breeds success. Our program has a 92% success rate, which is really, really high when we're talking about this very addictive and toxic substance. So here's what we do. We get together, we curate a group of like-minded individuals, people you're going to have a lot in common with, not just the alcohol thing, but a mindset thing. Like I said, people who are go-getters, used to getting things done, solving problems. You're going to be in with people like you. That motivation and that accountability and that open conversation that happens the minute you come into your first Project 90 group call, it's priceless. And we put a lot of effort into building it. You might be a fit. The best way to find out is to stop thinking about it and do what you do in every other area of life, which is take action. Go ahead and book a call. Simply go to www.alcoholfreelifestyle.com/project90. You click a link and you'll get a free 15-minute call with me or one of our other amazing coaches. I'll ask some questions. Let's see what we can make happen. Let's start a new chapter. If you think you may not fit that demographic, that's okay too, because what James and I do here and the other members at Alcohol Free Lifestyle is truly a labor of love. We've been where you are. We know what it is to be drinking too much and be unsure of what to do about it. Getting back on that merry-go-round yet again after we promised ourselves we wouldn't. So part of our labor of love is putting tons of material out into the universe on the internet for free. 95% of what we create is out there for free. So if you look up our YouTube channel, alcoholfreelifestyle.com/YouTube, you'll find videos. Obviously, we have the podcast. You can go to @JamesSwanwick on Twitter and Instagram. If you Google James Swanwick and alcohol free, you're going to find dozens of magazine articles, newspaper writings about James, our program, what we're doing to help people like you make alcohol small and irrelevant. So again, book a call with me, keep enjoying our free content. The important thing is that you're doing something, and I'm proud of you for that. We're moving toward action and change. So what is Victoria's secret? Drum roll, please. Well, it's self-compassion. Self-compassion. What? Yeah. Tell me if this sounds like you. When I was drinking, I was my own personal Rocky Balboa. I could beat the hell out of myself. How about you? This drinking thing was causing me so much shame and cognitive dissonance, like two lives. Like on one hand, I'm this loving, attentive mother, cooking for my kids, taking care of things, supporting them, loving them, exercising, Fitness was a priority, good nutrition, all the things, doing all the things, right? Staying fit in my spiritual life, feeling like I was part of something bigger than myself, doing everything right. And then there was the drinking that just felt like it was derailing all of that slowly but surely, because my drinking turned me into a person that I didn't like. I wasn't very fun anymore. I was moody and overly emotional and so sensitive. Even when I wasn't actively drinking, just taking everything so personally and seeking validation, trying to make myself feel okay. But I knew what I was doing was not okay. I knew I was drinking more than I should. I knew that I was at a point where alcohol was not serving me. I was serving alcohol. So I didn't feel like my true self. And those sorts of feelings fueled me to drink even more because I just didn't know what to do with them. I didn't have even a tiny bit of compassion for myself. I was drinking over a bunch of painful old stuff. And if you're listening to this podcast and you're around my age, I'm 51, wherever you are, you've been through stuff. You've experienced loss and pain. When I experienced some of those things in a really big way, I turned to alcohol. And then I turned to alcohol for all the feelings. There was a lot to sort through. The problem is when we're in that cycle, we really can't sort through it. The feelings I had experienced during these very difficult challenges were real. They were valid. It's the way that I was coping that was so damaging. It took me a while to learn healthy coping skills. It took practice. It took support from people who had been there, for people who were going through it, from professionals. But none of it stuck until I found one thing, and that was self-compassion. I was so caught up in believing the woman I was when I was drinking was who was my true self that I forgot that no, 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 no. Your true self is still in there, Victoria. She's still there. And she's asking you if she can come back out. So I had some weird moments, you guys. I had moments of looking in the mirror and practicing self-compassion. Yeah, super awkward, but it worked. It was suggested to me by a good friend who had been through this whole drinking mess as well. She suggested that I speak to myself the way I would speak to any other person who was struggling with drinking. And she said, how would you speak to someone who is struggling with drinking? Someone like you, someone who's middle-aged, who's a mother, who has always had good values, lived a good life, but is feeling just completely disconnected from her self right now. What would you say to her, Victoria? And I wrote it down and then I read it. And it was so easy. I said things like, I know you're going through a hard time right now, but the fact that you're showing up and trying to make a change says a lot about you. That's who you are deep down. I know that your drinking has influenced the way that you behave and the things that you say and you do, but that's just the alcohol, the effects of the alcohol. Once the alcohol's gone, you're going to be back to your true self. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. Just keep going. You're on the right path. Piece of cake. And then she said, now read that to yourself while looking in the mirror. Oh my gosh. So I had to read that again, but instead of saying, hey, you, I know you're going through a hard time. Hey, you're trying, stay on the path. I had to say, Victoria, I know you've gone through some hard times. Victoria, you're on the right path. Victoria, the real you is still inside. She's asking to come out. I feel emotional just sharing that with you. It was really hard to do, but I did it. And then she instructed me to speak to myself each day while looking in the mirror. Well, I was used to doing that, you guys. I'd speak to myself looking in the mirror when I'd wake up with yet another hangover. How many of you have done that? You wake up, you go brush your teeth, wash your face, and you just shake your head at yourself, going, really? You idiot? Seriously? Again? What the blank is wrong with you? You are a blankety blank, blank, blank. Piece of cake, right? That's the easy part. Gosh, would you ever say that to another person struggling with their drinking? Can you even imagine saying that to another person? How easily we say it to ourselves. And as I talked about, how easy it is to give support to others. It's so hard to give it to ourselves. But here's the good news, it gets easier. Hi, this is Victoria English, Senior Coach at Project 90, the program that helps high achievers stop drinking either temporarily or permanently. If you're an executive, entrepreneur, investor, physician, or other high achiever and know you're drinking too much, if you know your current drinking habits are compromising your sleep, relationships, health, and your happiness, and you're ready to finally get your drinking under control by quitting for either at least 90 days or 1 year, you are invited to apply to become a Project 90 client. Our 90-day and 1-year programs involve a safe, fun, yes, I said fun, private virtual community of high achievers with a process that boasts an incredible 92% success rate of clients reaching at least 90 consecutive days alcohol-free. Applicants can apply for an introductory interview by visiting alcoholfreelifestyle.com/Project 90. You'll likely speak directly with me or one of our other coaches. Are you ready to stop for at least 90 days? Are you ready to stop for at least 1 year? If so, we can help. Application interviews are limited and are conducted on a first-come, first-served basis. If there are no remaining interview times available, wait a few weeks and try again. Schedule your 15-minute initial application interview by visiting alcoholfreelifestyle.com/Project 90. Let's get back to the show. So I started, guys. I did it. I'd wake up and I'd say, hey, Victoria, good job not drinking yesterday. Hey, Victoria, today, why don't you do something fun? Hey, Victoria, remember that old comedy show you used to like? Why don't you watch that today and have some laughs? You're doing great. And I had to end it each day, guys, with the same sentence. I'd look in the mirror and I would conclude my little chat for one with the same sentence every day. Victoria, I love you. The words flow off my tongue now. They did not back then. I wonder if you can do that now, wherever you are. Of course, if you're driving, don't do this, but wherever you are. And if you have a mirror nearby, do you have one nearby? Look in the mirror and say to yourself, self, insert your name, I love you. What does that feel like? I know it's a little awkward, but go with me on this. If you're in the cycle of drinking, it may feel nearly impossible. But see, neuroplasticity is a beautiful thing, creating new neural pathways in our brain. A big part of what I do at Project 90 is invite our members to look at things just a little differently. So when they say, I'm a blankety blank blank, I'll ask them, is that true? Is that 100% true? Often they'll say, well, no, not really, but the things I did, the things I said, and I bring them back to today. Okay, and what are you doing today? Well, today I'm good. Today I'm sober and I'm smiling more and I'm nicer to people. And okay, so which is the real you? Well, this is the real me. Of course it is. That other you was never the real you. And so is it possible that you could treat yourself with just a tiny bit of the same kindness which you give to other people, the same kindness which you so easily give to other members. Can you try a little bit of it? And they say, well, yeah, I'll try it. And then try it again tomorrow. Try it again the next day. When we think about not drinking, it can seem so huge. And yet it's really a series of small changes, which, because the alcohol is clearing out from your body and your brain, you're able to make healthy, small changes. And so over time, just like I did, that member repeats these things daily, reminding themselves of who they really are, reminding themselves that with alcohol out of the way, they're fine. They're good people. The values that they've always had are still there. And without alcohol, they can live according to those values. And so they start to build self-esteem again, self-compassion, self-respect. When I started doing that, yes, it was a little weird in the beginning, but I got used to it. You know what that did for me? It reminded me of my self-worth. And so when I hadn't had a drink for quite a while and I thought about drinking, I'd ask myself, would I do this to a friend? If I have a friend who has been going through a struggle with drinking and she's been alcohol-free now for a while, would I give her a drink? And of course I'd say, well, no, I wouldn't give her a drink. Why not? Well, because she is feeling so much better. She's happier. She's feeling good about herself again. Life is getting better. Look at her face. Her face she's like glowing from the inside because she's not full of toxins and negative self-talk and everything. I'm not giving her a drink. Plot twist. I realized I would no longer give myself a drink either for those same reasons, because I didn't want to wreck something good. I valued myself. I began to believe that I'm actually worth a life that doesn't include alcohol. It sounds kind of small, but it's huge. And it kept me from going back to drinking more than once. Because look, thoughts of alcohol are going to happen. If that's been your default for years, yeah, thoughts might come up. But you learn to care about yourself in a new way. And so it's like, I don't know, giving myself a drink would probably be the last thing I'd do to myself. Not worth it. I'm worth more. So that's Victoria's secret for the day. I have some others. Maybe I'll share them. But yeah, that is Victoria's secret on how I stay stopped. I'd love to help you stay stopped. So would James, so would the other coaches and the other members of this small and intimate community. So again, go ahead and book that free discovery call, 15 minutes. Let's see if you're a fit. Until next time, have an awesome weekend. Enjoy your summer. And thanks for listening.
Here are 5 ways I can support you on your health journey. Number 1, the Better AF group support. You can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/betteraf. That is group virtual coaching to help you to stop drinking. The YouTube channel at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/YouTube. The book, Alcohol Freedom Formula, can be found at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. My liver cleanse from my supplements company, Swan Vitality, at swanvitality.com. And protect your eyes from screens by wearing a pair of Swannies blue light blocking glasses from my sleep company, Swanic Sleep. You can find that at swannies.com. Catch you on the next one.